A.
AB congruent to DE. That is correct. Okay. Now to make this problem maybe just slightly, well, I think we can. I was going to say maybe we should try, what would it take to prove another one of these? Let's just say, let me reframe it here. Let's say we wanted to do angle, side. Okay. This is a little bit more difficult because it's a path. It's like angle 1, angle 2, and then the side. Any idea what I'm talking about here?
Um.
So the side has to follow the two angles. So in the one up here, it'd be like angle 1, angle 2, and then it would be this side. So for AAS, you would want BC to be congruent to EF.
Yeah.
Those right there. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at example 2. Which pair of triangles is congruent by angle, side, angle? So look at A and decide if the side, remember the side has to be between the angles. Is the side between the angles?
Um. I'm thinking A and D.
So A for sure. Which other letter did you say?
D as in dog.
I would agree. The other one here, this is angle, angle, side, and this one's also angle, angle, side. All right. Any questions, thoughts on that before we proceed?
No.
Yeah. So our favorite proofs. Proofs. Okay. So the first thing in the proof here is always the givens, right? Angle B congruent to angle D. And what's the reason for that?
Given.
Given. Yep. And then I guess we'll put the second given in. Sometimes I don't know whether they want them in the same line or not. Now, the nice thing is they've actually drawn them in here. B and D. And then these are congruent. So now the angles are, sorry, you've got one pair of angles, one pair of sides. So is there anything else you can show or say that is congruent in this drawing here? And your eyes should sort of be drawn to the X where they come together.
Yeah. I don't think you call it a midpoint because it has two things
It
that
is a
go through it.
midpoint,
Oh.
but we don't need that. We just need something else. Like we right now have an angle and a side. We need something else to go with it.
Another angle.
Yes, another angle. So that's why I was referring to this X here. Do you remember what kind of angles meet at an X?
Vertical angles. I think.
Yes. So give me, let me put in red here. Give me those two angles And it's not C. You got to use 3 letters for the angles, please.
Okay. ABC and CDE.
So ABC is this angle in blue. So the middle letter has to be the vertex.
Uh, the ACB.
Yes. ACB, and then to be correct, A is is the point where there, and you went down the single side. So you'd want to start at E and go down the single side.
Okay. And ECD.
And then what's the reason for that?
Something of vertical angles.
Vertical angles are congruent.
Yeah.
Vertical angles are congruent. All right. Now we have enough to prove that the triangles are congruent. You can always put that statement in, even if you don't know why, to fill out the proof. But you kind of alluded to it. What is the reasoning? Why are they congruent? It's one of the 4 triangle congruence postulates.
The midpoint thing?
Nope. You got
No.
SSS, SAS, ASA,
All right.
angle side, HL. And it's not HL.
Angle side.
Yes. All right. Any questions, thoughts on that?
No.
Okay. All right. Moving along here, more examples, more proof. So the idea with angle side, and that's the idea here, is that it's the order matters. Like it's angle 1, angle 2, and then the side. So the other one has to follow the same order. Angle 1, angle 2, and then the side. Like it's like a path. So let's look at these examples. Maybe we'll look at them together. Because it's not just any side. Like that's one thing that's maybe not clear. Um, so in letter A, actually maybe let me maximize letter A so we can talk about it a little more. Um, so in letter A, in the lower triangle, call that angle 1, call that angle 2, and that's the side. See how there's kind of this path there to the side?
Yeah.
And then similarly, angle 1, angle 2, and then the side. See how there's like a path there?
Yeah.
So this is good. This is really good. Take a look at B and tell me what you think about.
this does not look like
It's actually
a
angle side angle because the side
yeah,
is between the angles.
yeah.
Okay. How about C? C requires you to show another set of angles are congruent, but you got to be really careful. Like the order matters here. So actually, let me make this one larger. So these angles are congruent by vertical angles. Now, if I start on the left here, that's angle one, angle two, and there's a side. See how there's a path to it? And
Yeah,
similarly, you've got angle one, angle two, and then a side. There's a path to it.
yeah,
Right. How about letter D? What do you see in letter D?
there is no angles, so just side,
It's
side,
actually
side.
side, side, side. Good. Letter E, let me grab a snip and make it a little bit larger. So the thing in this one that you have to see here is that the outermost triangle has a very special name. Do you remember the outermost triangle name when two sides are congruent?
Um, I
The
honestly no.
isosceles triangle. So
Isosceles.
isosceles triangle is same sides, same angles. Sometimes you hear that. It's referring to the base angles. So these down here are also congruent.
Okay.
So take a look, see if you can come up with an answer here or not. Um,
Is it side? Not wait no. Angle side.
it is. It's angle side. It's angle one, angle two, and then the side. Not that way. Angle one, angle two, and then the side. Okay. Take a look at example 5 and see if you agree or disagree or
Uh, I disagree.
okay, so why not? Why isn't it?
There isn't two angles.
That's true. It's actually angle side or side angle side. It's SAS. So you might even say that. You might say, well, it's actually SAS. Okay. Um, why don't you get started on example 6? I got to step away for 30 seconds to tend to a hungry cat. I'll be right back with you.
All right.
Right, I am back. So start with the given KL parallel to NM given, and then angle NLM, we're on to angle LNK. Could you label those angles in your drawing? NLM and LNK. I will do the same. The middle letter is the vertex.
All right.
Okay, so NLM is this angle up here, and LNK is this angle down here. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to redraw the parallel lines cut by the transversal, and I'm going to label it's a Z. It's typically a Z. I'm gonna show them in both drawings here. Why are these angles congruent? Two parallel lines cut by a transversal.
I think it's the alternate interior lines.
Alternate interior angle theorem. Okay, so that's you got to get the right lettering now. So give that a shot here. Remember that middle letter is the vertex, but that top angle congruent to the bottom angle. See if you can write that here in line 3.
All right.
How are you doing on that?
Just taking a little longer for me to figure out. Hold on. NLM or hmm.
Which letter? And you don't want to reuse these. You can't reuse the ones that we have here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. Is it angle N and angle L?
You gotta use 3 letters. So like, let me
Okay.
help with the one at the top. We're gonna start at the vertex that's, or the letter that's kind of away from everything. So K to L to N. K to
Oh,
L to N. Okay. That's the top one. So see if you can replicate that with the bottom one down here. What
okay.
is,
M N L.
yes. Okay. Now, that's 2 angles. That's not enough. Do you see any sides that are congruent in the triangle?
Uh,
Do you see any shared sides?
K N N L M.
They have to be
Like
shared.
that.
Shared means
Shared.
overlapping or the same.
Oh, right, right. L M.
L to N like Nancy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. LN is congruent to, and you have to switch the letter order, NL. What is the reason that those are congruent?
Uh,
It's like looking in the mirror. You see
a
your,
reflexive
yeah, kind of
property.
reflection of property. Yeah. Okay. Now you can always put the proved statement in at the end, even if you don't know how to do it, which we hope you're able to do, of course. But um, so what is the reason that these triangles are congruent? And sometimes you have to actually draw them separately so you can see it. But you've got angle, 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 side, side.
Angle, side angle.
You got it. Any questions on that?
No.
Great. Moving on to one more proof. I had energy and then we started the lesson doing proofs. It's been suck.
I mean, I usually do it
Sponge,
the
fun
bottom of my
sponge.
pocket, so.
All right. So
Bob's instructing him what to do with the
uh,
illustration.
first, always start with the givens. Angle PGJ. So that's this first little arc. It's congruent to SGJ. That's the first given there. So put that in the proof. You always try to fill in as much as you can before you have to actually do the
I'm sure if
real
I
work
don't
on
know
your
what
own.
something he needs, he'll just reach out now. Do it quickly.
And then we got GJ perpendicular to PS. Okay, and nothing more.
Yeah.
All right, so for the third thing we should do, whenever you're given a side or an angle that's congruent like you are in number one, there's nothing more to use from them. But in number two, the fact that they're perpendicular, that tells you something. What did it tell you? And it's kind of drawn in the triangle there. What did it tell you about that angle there?
Right angle.
Yeah, now depending on the instructor, sometimes you have to say that it's a right angle. You have to say that this angle here, let me put it in blue this time. You have to say that that's a right angle and that's a right angle. And it's the definition of perpendicular segments. Okay, so now could you give me one or the other angle in blue there? Give me the 3 letters for that.
That's GJP.
G to J to P. Yep. So
Yeah.
G angle GJP comma angle GJS. They are right angles. And then the next thing is that and it seems kind of odd to have to say this, but you have to then say that they're congruent. You have to say that angle GJP is congruent to angle GJS. Why are they congruent? What do you know about all right angles?
Always 90 degrees.
But we're talking about congruence now. So all right angles are fill in the blank. They're congruent. Yeah.
Congruent. Yeah.
Whether you, yeah, I mean, all right angles are congruent. Okay. Now, that we so far have in this triangles an angle and an angle congruent, the top one and the bottom one. Do you see anything else that is congruent from looking at it?
Um, the the 2 sides.
Okay, what are the sides that you see that are congruent?
We already done that.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking your thought process here.
Well, the GJP and GJS.
So those are angles. Angles.
Yeah.
Sides are
Sides.
Yeah.
GJ.
Okay, I agree.
the
GJ,
two.
what is it congruent to?
JG.
JG itself. It's like when I look in the mirror, unless it's a horror movie, I see myself. I don't know if you're into horror movies, but that's always the cliche, that someone looks in the mirror and then they look down and they look up and they see the scary person behind them.
Yeah.
Okay. 6. So we have enough to prove the triangles are congruent. This time they don't give you the triangles, and the letter order does matter. The letter order does matter. So be careful where you start. Like it's okay to start at any of the 3 letters, just your order has to be the same with the other one, like piece by piece.
PJ. G. Then SJG.
Yes. There's a lot of different letter combinations you can use. So what is the reason? What is the triangle postulate?
Reflexive. already
No,
done that.
no. Triangle congruents are always SSS, SAS, ASA, AAS.
Oh, is it not the last column is whatever.
Whenever you get to the triangle step,
Alright,
Angle, side, angle.
okay. Now, in most geometry classes, you use CP, CTC a lot. You always use it immediately following the triangle congruence. So once you prove the two triangles are congruent, all the sides are congruent, all the angles are congruent. But this step always follows the triangle congruence, always. So that's where you put your last
Yeah, sure,
prove
it's just-
step in.
It just masks sliding in and out. Okay.
Yeah, questions, thoughts on that?
No.
All right. Let's move along here, try to do some more. So we'll look at example one in the next page here. This is a really big deal in these proofs is they call it overlapping, which is somewhat what we talked about before with the shared.
We'll look into it.
Um,
I don't mind.
you really have to be able to, it's best to draw them. Some students don't want to draw them, but I would almost require it. I just don't think you're able to, as a student, see them without separating the two triangles. But do you see how my letters FHL correspond to the triangle here and then GJK
Yeah.
here? Okay. And then you relabel all the stuff like that. And I like to go like together. It's like, okay, that's congruent to that side is congruent to that side, and that angle is congruent to that angle. And now you can more clearly see the way to prove congruence.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Right. So let's go to the proof. Yay, one more proof.
Yeah.
Yes. You should have like signs in class where you hold up like the boo, for your teacher whenever they do a proof. So overlapping triangles, I'm going to draw them. Now, you will eventually be able to just see that, okay, these are the ones they're talking about. If you're ever unsure, you might consider asking, but E, C, and I are there. So that notice that middle letter W is basically useless in most of these. Now they get
Yeah.
harder. They get harder where you do have to use that middle letter, but maybe not in your class. So go ahead and start with your givens. I'll be right back with you.
All right.
I am back. So we got PE congruent to IC. It's good to label the separated triangles, not the original one. You're almost throwing that away. TC congruent to IE. Okay. Now let's just say you're just like, you have no idea. You can at least write the proof statement. And you can make up what you think it is. I don't want you to do this, but that's,
I think-
you know,
I
if you're
think
really
I did.
stuck, you know, you should try something. Like what does your band instructor tell you to do if you forget the moves? Maybe that never happens.
Just like fake it till you make it kind of
Yeah,
deal.
I mean, put something down. You know, just don't run into other people. You know, don't play out of tune. You know, something. All right. Okay. Next thing here is um, do you see anything else that's the same in the triangles? Your eyes should be drawn to anything that's shared. Shared.
EC,
Is congruent to,
CE.
okay, and why is that?
They're reflexive.
Reflects. Very good. So now you got those and you label the drawing. Now, why are triangles congruent?
Um,
What do you have? What's the three? It's always the 3-letter words or,
yeah, I got side.
yes. Very good. Okay, how did it go last week when we'd sort of, I think, same situation. Teacher wasn't there. We ended up going through the lesson. Did you end up getting a repeat of the lesson in class? Like what was that like for you?
Yeah, I did end up getting a repeat of the lesson, but
And did it help, hurt? I mean, is it,
it helped. Yeah.
okay. All right. Okay, well, we're just gonna stop there. We really can't get into anything